Praise the Lord, we are here. We're back. We've got a lot of requests to do this YouTube vlog, and we are back. We don't have any kind of plan today. We just want to, what do you want to do?
I just want to say you have to look into the camera,
Okay,
and that shows how vain you are because you're looking at yourself like
No, let me tell you what I was really doing. Just saying, my fro, I haven't really done nothing to it today, so it's been kind of just curly crazy. Some would say nappy crazy. I'm one of those hybrid black people. We like to call them nappy curls. If you've seen John Legend, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm looking. I'm not really looking at anything else except my hair is very lopsided today.
No, because when you talk to me, you look at yourself in the mirror while you're talking to me.
See, I just taught a husband what to do because y'all argue too much with your wife. When she says crazy stuff, don't respond. You are the head of your house.
That's the truth.
You are the head of your house.
That's the truth.
Like Christ is the head of the church.
So tonight we want to talk about making his band on MTV.
I don't talk about filth shows, okay? That's filth.
If I had a video,
the devil wants.
If I had a tape recorder,
let me tell you what the devil's.
If I had a tape recorder to show that hour of making his band that was on and the amount of hollering and hooping that you were doing because of the show, and now it's filth.
It actually is a good show. No, but let me tell you why I originally watched it though. I originally watched it because I thought they were saying making his band like God's band. I didn't know what they meant, and I had to watch it and say, "Oh no!" And I mean, halfway through the show, I said, "They're talking about Diddy." There's some things I like about making his band. There's things I don't like about it. Let's just leave it there.
Well, let's say this first of all. I don't know if everybody has seen it, but you should. It's a great, especially musicians. It's a great show. And Diddy is coming out with his new record, "Last Train to Paris."
We're not doing a promo thing.
No.
I don't care about. No. Listen. The day I do a promo for Diddy is the day he does a promo for me, and that day is probably never gonna come. I don't have a lot of money. I can't waste my promo time on P. Diddy, millionaire.
No.
He earning $23 million a year. I read that. He's making $23 million a year, and we sitting here helping him. One thing you just did is then you just took the money out of your pocket and put it in Diddy's. I'm not giving him no promo time. No.
Well, anyway.
See, man, you got to put your foot down sometimes.
I think it's a great show, and maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it by myself at a later date.
But we can talk about the show. Let's not talk about Diddy. You talking about Last Train in Paris? You promo on the record.
For people who have
now, if we have 485 views who watch this video, most of them will be church folk. They ain't gonna know nothing about Diddy's new thing, and then they're gonna be like, "Ooh!"
But you'd be surprised. Don't act like
that's true.
Okay, so there are a lot of musicians, some of which he's familiar with. A lot of church musicians on this show. Nissan Stewart, who is a soul seeker, is one of the judges, and Rob Lewis, who you are familiar with.
I don't know Rob Lewis.
I just said who you're familiar with.
Rob Lewis is a great musician. He is a well-rounded, well-versed, very experienced. I would say, I don't know to what extent he can go musically, but I would say he is a very good, I would say 3 generations after Quincy Jones. He could be our generation's Quincy. I could be totally wrong, but just what I've seen from him, he seems like a very musical guy, very well-rounded, has a great understanding of harmony, and he does, orchestration and plays a lot of instruments. So he's a lot like Quincy Jones in many ways, but, I mean, time would tell. If he's that next person,
but he seems to be pushing them in the right direction.
Yeah, he is. He's doing.
Show.
Yeah,
so
Rob's doing a good job.
So, are we gonna talk about this episode tonight? Yeah. The main thing that brought some excitement was Chris. There's a guy on there named Chris. He's a drummer from Detroit, and there's another guy, Mike, who is a drummer / keyboardist from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike brings it up to Chris during the competition that he might want to focus more on playing songs like the record. Chris is a very energetic and flashy drummer, but when it comes to the technical aspect of playing songs according to the record, Mike didn't feel like.
Ooh, I'm scared of these YouTube videos.
Like he could be. I'm telling you.
You just said Chris is a flashy drummer. Now, to musicians.
That's what it showed on the, because when it came down to doing the
I'm not gonna say it though.
You said it. I didn't say that, Chris.
No.
Chris, if you ever see this, I didn't say you were flashy.
He said himself he's never taken a class. He's never taken lessons. Did he say that?
But I'm saying the term flashy.
Okay, maybe flashy is not the correct. Okay, did Mike say flashy? He said, because Chris did like a lot of.
I'm not going by what Mike said.
Okay, well anyway, Chris admits that he's not much of a technical drummer.
Right, that's true.
And even in the challenge that they had, he had some trouble playing what was written. And Mike called him on that. Well, not on the challenge, but he called him on not being a technical drummer. And Chris got eliminated.
Chris,
I love you. I think you're great.
We're praying for you.
I think you're great.
And we believe within the next 4 months. Don't laugh about problem.
Wow.
In the next 4 months, within the time that you watch this, not 4 months from now, but when you watch this might be 7 years from now. 4 months from 7 years from now, you're gonna see some awesome things happening. No. I mean, but seriously, Chris is a great drummer. Mike,
and he has a good attitude, which I like. I like. You could tell he's an upstanding gentleman,
and he's clean. He's really clean. I mean, I agree with some things that Mike was saying about Chris. By the way, if you see this years from now, we're talking about episode 2, but Mike, yeah, go ahead.
And the only thing about Mike, and I like Mike, and I trust that he's a great drummer. We've only seen his keyboarding skills thus far, but out of his own mouth, he has said that he can pretty much murder the competition in drumming. There are a lot of people there, or a couple people there, who he feels that they shouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. That they're not worthy of that opportunity, and so now he's put himself in a position to have to prove himself, which I guess that's what this competition is about. But you got to be careful what you say sometimes, I think.
Well, I mean, you got to be compared. I mean, there's a level, because honestly, when you're in the environment that they're in, you got to be highly competitive. I mean, you don't have to be, but the environment you're in, competition is very conducive for that environment. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but to say that somebody's not worthy to be for this opportunity is not really for you to say.
But he really might not be worthy. Because,
but that's not for you to say.
Let me tell you why. Because many times, those of us who had the opportunity to study professionally, or formally, to study to become professionals by taking classical, a lot of us didn't want to do that because we don't want to do the work. We weren't disciplined enough.
We've been talking for 9 minutes and 21 seconds.
We weren't disciplined enough, so we kind of just didn't do the formal thing, and that has hurt a lot of musicians. So I think that what we saw with Chris tonight is going to help him a lot, because he's going to really get that technical side down, and it helped a lot of young musicians who are watching that saying, man, you know what? I need to go and get this formal training. I need to learn how to read.
That's true.
Drummers now need to, get their rudiments down. Just know how to read music. Because you can't play in LA without reading music.